All right, let's talk about one of the biggest headaches at any job when two really smart, capable people just can't seem to get on the same page. In this case study, we're going to break down exactly how that kind of constant friction can be transformed into an incredible partnership. Let's dive in. You know the feeling, right? You've probably been there. You both want the project to succeed, you're both working hard, but it feels like you're speaking completely different languages. It's so frustrating. Well, we're going to decode that exact situation today. So, let's meet our two teammates, Michelle and Susan. Both of them are total rock stars, super competent, and really valued by their company. But their manager was starting to notice that their relationship was becoming a source of tension, not a source of strength. And here's the heart of the issue. Michelle, well, she's all about building relationships, making sure there's harmony on the team. Susan, on the other hand, is a driver. She's focused on making decisions and getting results. So you can see the classic conflict here. Michelle felt like her people-first approach was being totally ignored, while Susan felt like the team was getting bogged down and slowed down by it. So what was really going on here? This wasn't just your average personality clash. Nope. The real root of their problem was a deep difference in their natural, innate talents. And these talents came to light using the Clifton Strengths Framework, a tool that's all about identifying how we naturally think, feel, and perform at our absolute best. So when you look at Michelle's profile, it's all about connection. You see strengths like harmony, developer, and relator. This means she is literally wired to build trust, invest in people, and make sure the team is working together smoothly. For her, how you get something done is every bit as important as what you get done. Now, look at Susan's profile. It's a totally different story. Command, achiever, activator, these strengths are all about taking charge and pushing for results. It's like they were running on two completely different and totally conflicting operating systems. And the key thing to remember is, one isn't right and one isn't wrong. They were just different. Okay, so that was the big challenge. How do you get these two different operating systems to actually sync up instead of constantly crashing? Well, the answer was a really specific, highly structured conversation, one that was designed from the ground up to turn their differences into a real partnership. And you know what's crazy? This breakthrough didn't take weeks of painful mediation. It happened in just 60 minutes. 1 hour. It just goes to show you, with the right framework, you can solve some really deep-seated issues with incredible speed. So how'd they pull it off? They used this power of two framework. And it's brilliant because it builds momentum. You start on a positive note with appreciation. Then you dig into the why behind their actions with exploration and understanding. But the real magic, the secret sauce, happens at step 4, complementarity, where you reframe all that friction as a strength. And then you lock it all in with concrete commitments. Now, this whole process did way more than just get them talking. It was specifically designed to create those aha moments. You know, those light bulb moments where years of frustration just suddenly get replaced by a genuine spark of understanding. And this is where everything changed. Michelle suddenly realized that Susan's constant push forward wasn't about steamrolling people. It was about protecting the team from getting stuck. And at the same time, Susan saw that Michelle's focus on relationships wasn't some kind of delay tactic. It was the essential glue needed to get real buy-in for long-term success. They stopped seeing each other as a problem and started seeing a partner they couldn't succeed without. You know, the most powerful realization for both of them was this. Their conflict was never personal. It was never about one person trying to undermine the other. They were just looking at the exact same goal, success, through two completely different but equally important lenses. And that insight changed everything. But hey, a big aha moment is one thing. Making it actually stick is another. So the next absolutely critical step was to turn this new understanding into real, practical agreements for how they'd work together from that day forward. So first, Susan made a commitment. She promised to actively use Michelle's strength. Before she pushed an action forward, she would deliberately pause and check in with Michelle about the team dynamics just to make sure everyone was aligned. And in return, Michelle committed to trusting Susan's strength. When things got urgent and a quick decision was needed, she would back Susan's decisiveness, knowing that it was the tool they needed to move forward fast. So did it actually work? Oh yeah, absolutely. Their manager saw a huge improvement almost immediately. All that tension was just gone. And in its place was a way more collaborative and productive partnership. Okay, so what's the big lesson here? What can we all take away from Michelle and Susan's story?
Well, it really boils down to one powerful idea that you can start using with your own team, like today.
Let's really hammer this home. The idea is called complementary assets. It's this profound but simple shift in thinking. Instead of seeing a colleague's different style as a problem, you start to see it as the other half of a powerful whole. It turns out your team's biggest strengths are often hiding right inside its biggest points of friction.
And that brings us to the final thought, and it's really a question for you. Think about your own team for a second. Who's that person you sometimes clash with? The one whose approach just feels so different from yours? What if their way of seeing things is exactly what you need? Who on your team could become your greatest collaborator if you just took a moment to try and see the world through their lens?